Last night finals. Look, Jason Tatum has a big night, and he does has a big night. Um, he had a bounce back game, scores 31 points. Celtics win. They got out to a 21-point lead in the fourth quarter, and I thought the game was over. I just thought, yeah, the Mavs can't come back. It is literally all over but the shouting. But lo and behold, they put a run together. But here's the thing. While Tatum had a bounce back game, and he did, and he needed it, I don't think there's any way that Jason Tatum wins in the NBA Finals. Look, I think it's going to be over in 5. I think the Mavericks will probably win game 4. It'll be over in 5. But I don't think there's any way Jason Tatum wins the MVP. I think that is Jaylen Brown's to lose at this point. Because while Tatum had 31 points, Brown had 30, whose points were more impactful? Jaylen Brown scored 26 points after halftime. What did he score? 16 points in the third quarter when they went on their run. And then at the end of the game, when the Mavs were making their run to get back in the game, who was making the shots to keep the Mavs at bay? It was Jaylen Brown. His performance in these finals has elevated him. I think he had been disrespected by people like me and people all over the country that just kept saying, his game has not evolved. He's the highest paid player, got the most guaranteed money of anybody in the NBA. What is going on? And he's saying, hey, man, look, I'm tired of the disrespect. I'm tired of people talking about my game. I am better than what you guys are saying, and I'm about to put it on wax. Oh, by the way, me and Jason Tatum can play together, and we're about to go win a title together. Good for him, man. Good for him stepping up. So it's just a great point, man. Shocked the Mavs loss. Luka's crying in defense after the first quarter was horrible. It was despicable. Just despicable. And there's no defending Luka. There is no defending Luka whatsoever. I mean, you can say whatever you want. Luka, that was pathetic. That was pathetic, man. To go out there and to play that way, that was bad. That was just bad. And just the lack of effort on defense. It's not that he's bad defensively, which he is, but it's the lack of effort. He's getting exposed. I mean, the Celtics are calling plays, and they are just hunting out Luka Doncic. They're just hunting him out and just saying, okay, we're coming after you. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, we are coming after you. And he is not putting up any resistance. Or even the times that he puts up a little bit of resistance, he cuts guys off. If they have any type of counter move and don't pass the ball, he lets them go by. He doesn't rotate out the shooters. He won't do that. Hell, there was a time last night where Kyrie had to physically push Luka out to go contest a three-point shot. I mean, he had to be pushed by his teammate. It is sickening. And then the constant complaining and the whining and the complaining. Look, first of all, the NBA refs are pathetic. We all know that. They're horrible officials. Horrible. And they've been bad. They've just been bad. And to foul out one of the superstars in the league with 4 minutes to go in a game is bad. Having said that, the last foul was a foul. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. It was a foul on Luka. The fifth foul was probably terrible because he got hooked. What's he supposed to do? I'm standing there, a guy hooks me, I just have to let him go? No, that was a bad foul. But if you know you have 5 fouls, why are you trying to take a charge in the open court? Like, what are you doing? Do you not have any defensive awareness? So it's just, like I said, Luka was bad. He was bad. And like I mentioned, Tatum and Brown, they did their thing. They didn't get spectacular game. Like, Drew Holiday didn't do anything spectacular. Porzingis didn't play. Derek White didn't go off for a million. I mean, it wasn't, the Celtics just played. They're 2 big guys. did their thing. And the Mavericks got nothing again. I thought, hey, they're going to insert Tim Hardaway Jr. He's going to give them a lift. He's going to give them some offense. He played 19 minutes. He didn't make a shot. He scored 0 points. PJ Washington did nothing until late in the fourth quarter. He made a couple baskets. I mean, you have to have somebody else do something. Kyrie played phenomenal. Phenomenal. He did all he could do. Luka did a lot. I mean, again, he's doing it on offense, but when it's being negated on the defensive end, it's like, okay, Luka, yeah, you're doing some stuff on offense, but on the defensive end, what are you doing? And it's being negated. Literally being negated because they are hunting you out and they're going right at you. At some point, you got to have some pride. Now, I heard some people talk about, well, Luka's hurt. Well, isn't he hurt on offense too? Or is he only hurt on defense? Yeah, stop the madness, people. Stop the madness. If you're saying Luka's hurt, and again, I'm not denying that he's hurt, but if you're saying that he's hurt, then he's hurt on offense too. But don't tell me his knee only hurt, or knee, his ankle, his chest, whatever it is. It only hurts on defense. It doesn't hurt on offense. Give me a break. Give me a break. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. I like Luka. I like Luka. But a lot of people have said the same things. Got to get in better shape, man. You got to take the conditioning aspect of this. You got to take it more serious. You just do. And Luka's a strong guy. Just imagine Luka if he's chiseled up. What could he be? Got to take it more serious. Just has to do that. Has to do that. Because there's a lot of basketball games that they're playing. There's a lot of basketball games that they're playing. So just got to be better. And the whining to the officials, he's got to stop. Somebody's got to go to him. And I know people are saying, well, what about LeBron? All LeBron does is whine. And yeah, LeBron now, the last 8 years, that's what he's done. A lot. But you know what? LeBron wasn't doing that for the first 12 years of his career. He wasn't doing that. He was running back on defense. LeBron was for the last, LeBron can't give you everything because he's 39 years old. But for the first 15 years, he was the most conditioned guy probably in the NBA. Now, if Luka was that, we'd be having different conversations. But he isn't. He isn't. Let's go to some comments here. Luka whines to the refs more than anyone I've seen, and Big B's 100% right. He has zero effort defensively. Yeah, he just doesn't give any effort. That's the problem with Luka. He's just not giving any effort. He's just not. So, Big B, he got caught ball watching so many times. I was like, bro, this is the finals. What are you doing? Yes. He looked like a middle schooler out there that didn't know what he was doing on defense, that couldn't find the ball, that he was like a turnstile just turning. I'm like, what? You have no anticipation? You don't know what the rotations are? What is going on, man? Just constantly ball watching and just not guarding a man, not doing anything on defense. And he's being exposed. And now people are talking about it. People had said things about it before, but now it's become a big deal because it's in the NBA Finals and the whole world is watching. And now people are like, well, man, Luka don't play no defense. He gives no effort. People have been saying that, but because of his offensive numbers were so great, they let it slide. Now that he's in the NBA Finals, nobody's letting that slide. I don't know if anybody saw what Brian Windhorst had to say from ESPN. And again, whether you like ESPN or not, that has nothing to do with this. What he basically eviscerated Luka, and he was 100% correct. He's giving absolutely no effort on defense. He's whining to the referees, and he's not going to win until he stops. until he gets in the proper condition and gives effort on defense. Nobody's saying that Luka has to be some defensive stopper. I got into an argument for the last 3 days. Somebody keeps saying Luka doesn't have to be a defensive stopper. And I keep saying nobody said he had to be a defensive stopper. Nobody's saying Luka has to be the guy that you're counting on for stops. He just has to give effort. But he can't give effort, and people say, well, he uses it all on offense. Hey, man, he's 25 years old. He isn't 35. He should be able to be in good enough shape to give you effort on both ends. If you're saying he can't give you effort on both ends, well, why is that? Got to get in better shape. Got it. If this is a wake-up call to him and should be to Jason Kidd, for Jason Kidd to be able to say, hey, man, you got to the NBA Finals, and then look what happened. They hunted you out, and they destroyed you. You got to get in better shape. You can do it on both ends if you are in better shape. Nobody's asking you to be the defensive stopper. Nobody's asking you for that. But you got to be able to do something on the defensive end. Something. And he isn't doing anything, man. It is terrible. Somebody put together a compilation and then of Luka just getting cooked. Well, you know, the thing on the street is you could make a compilation of basically anybody getting cooked on defense. But what you can't do is make a compilation of one guy, 25 years old, in one game getting cooked, and they showed 23 clips of him being destroyed, just not giving any effort. What superstar have you seen do that? In one game at 25 years old. Now, you could make one now of LeBron and not giving any effort. There's plenty of guys, not when they're 25 years old and not in the NBA Finals. Sorry. You're not seeing that. You're not seeing that. I just, I don't know, man. I don't know. Whew. It's brutal. Brutal. Oh, yeah. I know my man CC right now is in basketball heaven. He is one of the biggest Luka Doncic haters on the planet Earth, and he has to be in basketball heaven right now. You're not going to be able to say nothing to him. Lord have mercy. This one was bad. This one was bad. Game 2 was awful as far as Luka on the defensive end. This was worse. This was worse. And everybody's talking about it because, hey, you're down 2-0. You got to make a stand. You got to make a stand. And at some point, you've got to fight to stay in this. Well, how you fighting isn't on the offensive end, man. It's never been. How you stay in games, fight back, you got to stop people. You got to give the effort on the defensive end. It's the NBA Finals. If you're not going to do it now, when are you going to do it? I guess that's a good question to ask. Hey, Luka, if you're not going to give effort on the defensive end in the NBA Finals, down 2-0 at home, if you're not going to do it then, when are you going to do it? Like, what? Seriously. Like, what's it going to take? I don't know. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. And that doesn't take away how great he is on the offensive end. But it speaks his competitiveness. It speaks to that. The constant whining to refs. Everybody is getting to see. They saw what people have been talking about. They saw all of that last night, man. They saw all of that last night. And yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Here we go. My man David Gonzalez, it's karma. Karma for Luka, talking smack about cooking Gobert's defense at the end of one. Yeah, well, you could say that. I mean, you could say that. Luka was feeling himself after he made Rudy Gobert dance out there on the court, which he did do. And now they're making Luka do the exact same thing. They're making him do the exact same thing. So, I like that approach. Yeah, you're right. Ruben, My man Ruben. Luka is a cone, basically. You're right. He is. He's just a cone out there. Just somebody. Just practice your dribbling around Luka. Yeah, it's bad, man. It's bad. Jiminy Christmas. So, uh, uh, uh. Yeah, I like this. Getting exposed on national TV is going to be good for him. But this is why he's always outside the MVP talks. I mean, what it's going to do is, you're right. It's going to keep him. It's always kept him out of the MVP talks, but it will always keep him out until he starts giving effort. Because now people are going to say, "Yeah, we don't care what your offensive numbers are, Luka. Yeah, that's great. You don't play any defense. You don't even give effort on defense. So, doesn't mean anything to us." You know how voters are. You know how people are finicky and very fickle. They will start to say, "Yeah, Luka, all that on the offense is great, but you do nothing defensively, so we don't care. We don't care." So until it probably may not be next year, but the year after next, because next year maybe he'll do the same thing. Maybe he'll wake up, but maybe he'll do the same thing. But then when they leave him off an all-NBA team and he's like, "What the hell?" They'll say, "Hey, man, you don't give any effort on defense. Why should we put you on an all-NBA team?" I mean, basketball, there's two sides of the court, and you got to play it at some point. So, Pat Cockrell with the comment of the day, Michael Finley should have taken Luka's beer. Yeah, buddy. He shouldn't have taken it. I don't know. I love it. I love it. Because what happened, he took his beer from and Luka went back and started taking shots. That's probably what happened. Jesus. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's too much beer, too much everything. Just get in better shape, Luka. Give some effort. Help your brothers, man. You got to help them. You got to help them. So you got to help them. But I thought Jason Kidd did his best. They're just those guys. The role players just aren't making any shots. They're getting them. They're just not making them. People are saying that Mazzulla outcoached Jason Kidd in this game. I'm like, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. Like, the guys just aren't making any shots. What's he supposed to do? When your star doesn't give effort on defense, role players are out there that are getting open looks, and they had open looks, and they're not making anything. That's not coaching. I mean, what if they're just not making the shots? They're not making the shots. It's that simple. Make or miss league. That's what it's always been. And the Mavs are missing. In the Western Conference playoffs, they were making them. Now they're missing them, and here's where we are, man. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?